So this video is about Super Megaforce, which came up on Nickelodeon.com, and it does contain spoilers, so if you've not watched it, click the link down below and you can watch the episode. Let me say, so far I am very impressed with this series. So these are the breakdowns. At the very end of the episode you'll hear my main points that I've noticed while watching it a few times, and so yeah, this is how we will go. So you see a very brief previously on Power Rangers, to the point where you see what happens at the last point with the end of Megaforce. So you have the Armada coming down and destroying, and you see Robo Knight, he disappears and no one knows where he's gone. So I think that's going to be a mystery, but I'll talk about that later. Voices to the villains now. I like this. I thought they very suited the characters and it was amazing and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad that they put this in, and they are slightly better than the one in Gokaiger. I don't know why, but just to me I liked it a lot. The intro is very cleanly cut. It's a lot better, and I have to say it's possibly one of the best ones that I have seen out of every single MMPR series, out of all the Power Rangers series. And I like the fact that they were running on water. I like the fact that they used a lot of Gokaiger stuff. The thing I need to talk about that one is that they need to drop down the Megaforce music. They should replace it with something else, or a different theme tune rather than Power Rangers or MMPR. And but that's the point. That's not really a big thing. I like the fact that at the end of the intro you see a lot of the old Ranger helmets. You possibly see them all through the entire series, and I thought this was a very good thing to do and put it at the end of the credits, at the end of the intro, and it is a very good one. Now with X-Borg, this is what the main, like the Zaniac goons are, the minions and stuff. Now this kind of reminded me of the Borg, just the name only, the Borg from Star Trek series, but I kind of think it kind of suits them, and I kind of really like that name. First few scenes you see the destruction of the mall, and you also see the destruction of the school, kind of like the damage, should I say. Now this is very cool because this kind of gave it more a post-apocalyptic feel. I can't even say that. Kind of more of a destruction feel, and this to me kind of brought it more into the series, and I really liked it. Now the fact is that school is damaged, and also you have the I can't remember, the juice bar and part of the mall, which again is a really cool thing. Kind of reminded me a lot of RPM, which is quite cool. I liked RPM and I just like the feel of it. So this kind of, maybe this could have been a start to, if the RPM universe was in the PR universe, then this would kind of mean kind of cool. So this is nice. I like when the Blue Ranger burst into the school, he kind of looked like a promo, like, hey guys, I'm coming here to give you a free card or something. I think it was just mainly the lights, and this to me was nice. I like it. The Blue Ranger is giving support through to the teens and saying, look, you know, you can accomplish anything, you can do anything, and to me, I thought this was really nice. I like the fact that within humanity itself, you know, when stuff goes down the pan, you know, people are there to help, and this is what the Blue Ranger gave encouragement to, as well as what the Pink Ranger did in the mall, where she helped the guy called Ernie, I think his name, I don't know his name, it might be Ernie, I'm going to call him Ernie, but you know, actually helping, and you could see the fact that he was scared, and it wasn't just a thing like, hi there, I'm fine, it was more the fact as soon as that Pink Ranger came around the corner with the blaster and held it to him, or pointed at him, he literally was scared. And I like the fact that they put this element in, because it's something that I would do. If I saw someone come around holding a gun or a blaster or anything, I would scurry on back. So you see the command center, and then you see the destruction in the background. Now this is mainly the smoke that comes up, and this was, to me, was a very good plot, because I thought this was actually a nice twist. Rather than just having a nice scene, you actually saw the destruction. You kind of think that the command center is now kind of near the city, not too much, but I like the little things they put in, was just the smoke and the destruction. This kind of gives it a lot more realism to it, which again is something that the show needs, and it just brought more excitement to the episode. With the Rangers coming in, you know, they're helping and supporting each other, and they're finding out, and the acting in this one, it just felt more passionate, more heart into it. So I'm guessing maybe that's one thing they wanted to put in with Super Megaforce, and kind of like show more about it. Then when the Red Ranger comes in, you find out that, you know, they're talking about Gozo Knight now. They kind of brush this aside, but this will be more talked about later. Gozo starts talking about the keys and what they can do, and then the Rangers get the morphers, and then they get the keys to show. And through this entire thing, you see Jake turning around going, what the hell have I got here? Why am I not the Black Ranger still? And that to me was kind of funny, because they try to explain it, and he's like, well, you know, I've got one major question. Why have I got a Green Ranger key rather than the black one? And they're about to explain it, and then suddenly, boom, you know, the destruction, or kind of something happens, and they have to go. So you've also found out more about the fact that they're talking about the keys. So you'll probably find out much more later on in the series, and I'm glad that they didn't kind of like answer everything straight away in the first episode. It kind of gives the show a bit more kind of mystery and realism. I like the fact that they're now giving realism and they're kind of giving more stuff to the show rather than just the general quick fix type thing. So they've put lots of thought into it. So we're going to see a lot more coming out from the show. So they use a lot of Gokaiger footage when the bad guy turns around to the group of kids that actually talk about the Super Sentai, and this was kind of cool when you saw that they kind of mix a lot of American footage and Japanese footage. So you had them all in the Gokaiger suits and they came running out and they were about to, or Megaforce suits I say, and they come running out and then all of a sudden, you know, they say stop and then they pull out the blasters. Now I like the fact that when they shot this bad guy, to me it represented that the blaster wasn't powerful enough to kind of stop him completely or hurt him a lot, and this is when they transform into the Super Megaforce run. The morph sequence I thought was amazing. It's something, rather than having, if you've seen the Gokaiger one where they're actually kind of at an angle like that and it all goes boom boom boom, I like the fact they were straight on and the power went around and transformed them from their mega suits straight to the Gokaiger suits, or the Super Megaforce suits now. Now I think this is going to be a lot, and I reckon that when the series goes on further on, they're not going to have the Gosei suits. I reckon they'll just go straight to the Super Megaforce suits and straight from there. That would make more sense at the moment because they're still Megaforce Rangers and it's a powered up mode. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what comes out in that way. When you've seen the clip of the Rangers morphing from Gosei to Gokaiger, or to Megaforce to Super Megaforce, they instantly do it. So I reckon they have to morph first and then they'll morph into the new suits, which looks quite interesting, and I like the style that they've done. When they had they pulled out the guns first, the Super Megaforce blasters or whatever, I kind of cringed a bit because when they shot, it was a laser and I was like, oh no, and then, you know, part of me was thinking, well actually, you know, this is something, you know, they've done because of guns and stuff, but as you see a lot of time with the footage, because it's so action paced, it would take a lot more time to actually use a blaster and use it in the laser mode, or shoot lasers should I say. So they kept the gun elements, and I like this part. I like the fact that they are kind of thinking outside the box, but then again they're not, and they're kind of like controlling it to some degree, but it worked very well. And the fight scene that you see is obviously from Gokaiger. One element I liked was Jake when he was talking and he was saying how great his powers was, and I can see him suiting that character, suiting that Green Ranger. I just like the fact that Doc was okay, I like Doc, but I like Jake as this character because mainly it's fun. So he was talking about it and I can see the goofy antics of his character coming out at a point, and this is what's going to happen. So that was a very nice point to having Jake as Doc basically. It also made it more kind of fun and exciting to me because I liked seeing his goofiness and his elements. I liked that part, and it just made it more fun and entertaining. When the Rangers called on the keys, I found that when watching the fact, as I would have liked the keys to disappear from that, from the command center, but in fact they actually got the kind of like the power, and it was like a copied power or something, or it was just basically a transferred or something. I don't know the reason why they've not done this, but it could just be episode 1 and they could change it at a later date. Now I liked the whole visual effect, and when they turned into samurai, again they were calling out the team names when they were like, go go samurai! You know, I'm glad they didn't kind of do the team thing like samurai together, friends forever, or whatever it was, but I kind of like this ability. I like the fact that the American footage that they put in, you had the, you know, they got the same sort of thing right and they put their own footage in. So it's kind of nice seeing American and Japanese footage kind of working together. When they transformed into the Mystic Force Rangers, this was just absolutely awesome. I like the fact that they said the name and then they said the call out things, and then suddenly when they turned around and transformed, again it was, you know, what they said in Mystic Force. So this to me was a perfect touch because I really like Mystic Force. And again, the blasting and the power, this was absolutely awesome. When they turned around and said, oh, these powers can't be used for long or something, or that they do take a lot of strain. It was the point when, in Gokaiger, obviously, when they jumped up from the blast and they turned back, this was a very nice touch, and I can see that they can use these powers for a short period of time, but not for a long. So this is going to be kind of cool when they say that the powers are taxing on them. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to be showing very, very soon in the next few episodes. When they did the whole what they call like final wave in Gokaiger, when they said like final strike, I thought that would have been awesome. I would have liked it if they kept final wave in, because that would have been kind of like a tribute to Gokaiger. But I'm very pleased with what they've done so far. I'm very excited about this series because I think it's going to be good. It's exactly like Megaforce. When Megaforce showed episode 1, I was very excited about that, and I like Megaforce to some degree, so Super Megaforce is going to be a great series. Bad guys to me seem more realistic. I probably said this before in other videos. When Samurai came out, I wasn't feeling it. When Megaforce came out, I was kind of like, yeah, that's actually kind of cool, I like that. So the bad guys are more believable, the voices are more believable, and it's just a lot more fun, and I like that within the series. I think it's a very good one so far. As I've said it again, the tentacle monster that it was in episode 2 of Gokaiger looked like Vilgax from Ben 10. So if people from Ben 10 want to make a more realistic one, just borrow the suit. I'm sure they would be like, yeah, okay, because that does look like Vilgax, and yeah, so it's kind of nice. And I like the fact they mixed 2 episodes together, and this made it more action-packed. It made it more action-packed, so it made it more entertaining. Now, when I was watching it, I was very entertained. I was like, wow, this is amazing for what they've done. They've really pushed out the budget, and it looks amazing. So the way that they put 2 episodes together, so if they did this constantly for the entire whole season, they would get the entire whole thing of Gokaiger in there, and that's what I like. So please, Saban, Nickelodeon, if you have done that, make it happen like that, because I think that would be more entertaining, and I could look past the fact that the future Rangers are coming in at the very end episode or whatnot. But I am very, very happy that they kind of mixed the 2 episodes together. So within this one, you had all the past teams. You had Ninja Storm, SPD, and again they called out the morph names like SPD. I didn't hear the emergency part, so I don't know if they put it in, but when it's like Ninja Storm, that was cool. I like the visual effects. I like the fact that, you know, they kept it in from Gokaiger. It's cool. Now, one thing I didn't know is when I'd seen a clip, which I did a video but never edited it, when you had the video of the Red Rangers. Now, one of the girls, I think, or no, it was Doc, or who's played by Jake. In the Gokaiger episode, you had Doc turn into Megaforce Red. And this to me was kind of cool, and I didn't think about it properly until watching it for the second time, is it would have been misleading to have Megaforce Red next to them because they are in their Mega mode. So I'm going to say that they're going to take out all the Gokaiger footage, so if they turn into that sort of team, they're going to get rid of it. So they replaced it, that one with Operation Overdrive, and I like the visual effects, and again they kind of match the scenery with the episode, so that was a kind of a nice little part to that too. When they destroy the Vilgax tentacle monster, as I'm going to call him, I can't remember his name, or Squid Face, what they call him. I like the fact that they kind of superimposed the Operation Overdrive Ranger into this episode, because it would have looked weird, but you could tell very slightly that they had done this, just that it was a little bit lighter than the actual footage, but it was very well done. And obviously when Doc or Jake warps forward, he transforms back to green, and therefore, you know, you can tell a little bit of height difference. But again, I was not bothered about that whatsoever, so I'm really glad that they kind of put this in. It kind of made it more believable. So they, okay. So in this episode, so they explain that the monsters grow by using a special technology that they've used, where they shoot down the monster, these beams, and they make it grow, and they can make multiple enemies grow, which was quite a nice little touch. This is where you saw, you know, this means that they can have multiple enemies at any one time, which is quite cool. So this is going to be a nice addition to what they did in Gokaiger to what they're doing in Super Megaforce. So at the very end, you see the teacher come back, and they're in school and they're learning, and he asks the questions like, you know, what sort of species are they going to have? And to me, this is quite cool because you saw like this in the first episode. There was a nice little tribute to the first episode. At the very end, you see Troy looking out to the sea, wondering where Robo Knight is. And I'm guessing it's going to be a mystery. I would laugh if he was the Silver Ranger, because I don't think I've seen him in the promotional shots at the end where you have all the team. So I think that he will be the Silver Ranger, and I reckon he would have been able to turn into a human, or this was his ultimate power, and the fact that he is a robot and he transforms back. I don't know what they're going to do. They did it with Mac in Operation Overdrive, where he was a robot or an android. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens. Maybe it could be the fact that they could have an Operation Overdrive kind of like tribute to thingy. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Megaforce. So now we've talked about the good points. These are the meh points that I didn't like about the series. Now, there wasn't that many. I'm always very surprised, but here they are. So when the Blue Ranger comes in and he opens the doors, he's standing in front of the, he's between the doors, but when the camera came back, the doors were shut. Now, they weren't kind of like moving, which I kind of thought they would do because, if you walk through the doors just don't go slam shut straight away, not unless they're on those ones that push slowly down. But then again, you would have seen that, so I kind of think that was the meh point. That one little scene didn't kind of appeal to me, but then again, it turned into action, which is good. So the Rangers walk in, they're hurt, they're holding themselves going, oh my god, it hurts so much. But as soon as they take their helmets off, they're fine. They just instantly walk, and when the Blue Ranger comes in, he's like holding his side, and he's limping to some degree, or and they hug him, and I think you actually see like his hand touch the side, and they're absolutely fine. So I didn't like this. This to me was a bit of a bad point, but again, they were explaining stuff, so I was like, maybe they fought through the pain, yeah, maybe they fought through it, so I don't know. This kind of to me was a little bit down here, but again, when they go off fighting Gia or Sia, whatever her name is, I can't always get them confused, she wants to go to ultra power. She doesn't want to try these new powers out. Now, if I was given new power, I would be using it. I'd be like, I'm using this, the other modes, we've used that, let's try this new mode. Again, the Red Ranger house goes, no, let's try this instead. And you're like, okay, I will give that to you. I will give that to you, Red Ranger. So kind of the enthusiasm when they've got these new powers, Gia doesn't want to use them, and it's just like, use them. When the bad guys are kind of terrorizing the small group of the people from Gokaiger, suddenly there are more people all about and you don't see them. I know they may be hiding away, but it just felt like they just had to put them in there, where they could have used American footage and had the monster going, I'm going to destroy you, and actually have people from America, the American footage, or people from New Zealand, whatever, there instead of the Japanese one. So, just like Gokaiger actually used the first heroes, the Go Ranger, when they showed it off. Now, I kind of thought that when I heard about the adaptation, they were going to use the MMPR to transform first. Again, they could have recorded their own footage, but I'm guessing they're saving MMPR till like much later on, which would make more sense. But when they turn into Samurai now, I kind of thought, obviously, if we take away the Gokaiger footage, this was the first thing that Saban brought back, so therefore that was paying a kind of tribute to Samurai in a way. But again, it's because of the Japanese footage, but I kind of think they did this first, and that's the one thing I'm thinking about. When it comes to the Megazord fight, you have the bad guy grab the back of the Zord. Now, they instantly knew there was a cannon in the Zord. I would have, if it was me, I would have got them to say, oh my god, they got us, what will they do? And then obviously when he spins it around, that's when the cannon pops out and they shoot people, and then I would have been surprised and be like, yes, we didn't know that, that's awesome, this Megazord rocked, oh my god! Something like that, that's what I would have put in. I think that would have made it a little bit more believable, rather than going like, boom, we've got this power, we know how to use everything straight away. When they turn around and say, Rangers, that's a super mega win, I think that's going to be annoying to some degree when you hear it constantly. That's a mega win! That's a super mega win! Super mega wins everywhere! I think that'll get kind of annoying after a while, but I kind of think, yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun because, again, I'll just ignore it. But again, it will get a bit annoying. The last part is when you have Noah burst into the teacher's office and he's helping, so things are falling through. Now, I could believe that, but when it cut back to when he put the egg back on top, when he turned around and everything was perfect and the teacher was on the other side, it just felt like they had kind of filmed that bit first and then they filmed that bit after. So continuity-wise, when everything was perfect, there was no damage, and the teacher was on the other side saying, oh, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. I think that kind of, man, I don't know, it's always Noah's parts that I don't understand why they don't fix properly. They did it in all the other ones. It's just mainly focused around him. I've not seen it on anything else. So, and what is it with this? It's just the one teacher. He must do the whole school. I think it's like, why aren't you kind of doing, like, why aren't there other teachers? Why can't we have other people in? I'm sure you can get Miss Appleby back, but still, I don't know the reason why they just have him. It's a mystery. So I want to know if there are any other teachers. If there are any other teachers and you've seen it through the series, pop the comments down below and let me know. The school was also rebuilt faster. You kind of think I would have loved to have seen stuff on the wall still coming off and people repairing it and people about, and I know that they did a little bit with the students, but I kind of think that that would have been more kind of believable rather than it's fixed. But then again, you don't know how much time from that monster fight. So again, if that's day 1 after this has happened, then you kind of think, what the hell? So yeah, that's kind of about that. So that was my review on the Super Megaforce episode 1, which is being released on Nick.com and is out next week. So let me know, guys, what do you guys, the people, if you've seen this, what do you think about it? Do you think that this is going to be a good series? Do you think it's better than Megaforce? So pop your comments down below. If you've liked this video, like, favorite, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And this will happen kind of when the new episodes come out. I'll be doing a review, and I can't wait. I am really psyched. My final thoughts on this is, I think this is going to be a very, very good season. I think that they kind of saved the money from Megaforce and kind of pumped it into this. And it's a bit weird when I watch any of the Saban era from, like, say, Super Samurai, Super Megaforce, well, say Super Samurai, I should say. It seems a lot better. It just seems that they go through this whole crapness and then bring out this amazing stuff for us to watch. I like Super Samurai. I'm loving Super Megaforce at the moment. I can't wait. So I'm going to give this episode 5 keys. Yes, that's it. It gets reviews. 5 keys for this one episode. So yeah, let me know, guys. Anyway, I'm so super happy that this episode is good. I can't wait to see what comes out from the Saban clan New Zealand thing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go, and I shall see you guys in a bit.